Hey guys, so today I have something really exciting, totally different, and kind of scary for me, for you guys to totally check out and hopefully support me in it. So, as you guys know, I'm a huge gamer. I've been gaming my whole life. I had an Atari, I moved up from there, blah 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 blah, you know, and I started streaming, got into esports, which I am totally in love with. And let me tell you, the reason I am in love with esports is because there's finally a mainstream outlet with events, new people to meet, you know, actual jobs, careers, and just people supporting gaming as something that isn't just for weirdo nerds and stuff like that. So I really just love esports because it's a place I can go meet new people and just kind of embrace my nerdiness, or whatever you would call that. And I also have a lot of friends in it now, which is amazing, and they're all amazing people, and it's like, wow, I never knew that it was so easy to meet people who I could be friends with, you know. So for the past year, that's been kind of my obsession, and also just coming from a background of loving Blizzard games and playing StarCraft and Warcraft and all that, so it all fits together. But the thing I get asked most on my stream, which you can find at Babcock.tv, is where do I fit in as a personality in esports? Where do I want to see myself in esports? Do I want to get a job in esports? Do I want to just continue streaming? Do I want to just be, you know, a YouTube, you know, video uploader person related to esports and stuff like that? And I thought long and hard about this, and I decided that I think I would make an amazing caster. Now, hear me out on this. Obviously, not right away. I would not make a good caster because, first of all, I have no knowledge of the game. Well, not no. I watch like so many tournaments and study the casters, and I play a lot. Even though I am a silver/gold level player still, I'm learning and I'm trying to better myself, and hopefully I'll get up to platinum soon and then higher, and then, you know, kind of have the analytical view of the game where I can actually start speaking about it, you know, intelligently. But it's also been a personal goal of mine to just speak more intelligently. I mean, I write articles, and I've been a good writer my whole life. I mean, literally in my brain is like the most sophisticated thoughts ever, and I can just put them out. I can like drill into, you know, my keyboard and just type out like a 1,000-word essay in like a half hour. Like, seriously, I'm really good at writing and thinking. It's just when it gets from my brain to my mouth, it's kind of just jumbled and ditzy and silly, and I've always like avoided talking, you know, and avoided like that type of thing. So like getting a career in speaking, like how crazy and hard will that be? And I've never really put my all and my heart into something in my life before. And like, not that I'm saying that like I never worked hard, because I've done like tons of shoots that lasted 12 hours and then, you know, flew in and flew out 3 shoots a day, or like spend hours, you know, just bettering myself in a video game or working on my website and stuff like that. But I've never really went out on a limb where I could fail and did something in a genre where I don't feel I'm good at. So this is kind of self-betterment as well, right? And now on the grounds of why I would be a good caster, I mean, there aren't that many females in general, you know, in the esports field that are working as casters. And when they are, I don't really feel I can think of any that are always being called to these big, huge events, you know, with the big, huge names and the casters and all that stuff. So I think I would be a great candidate for that. Now, hear me out. Now, think about it. I've got the looks. You guys all know that. If you don't like the way I look, you still know that it's a striking and different look, especially for the world of gaming and stuff like that. I actually do have the passion for it. I mean, come on. I love gaming. It's what I do in my free time. That's all I do. I don't go out and drink. I fucking play video games, right? So, there's that, and then there's also, I already have the natural business sense. I've owned my own business now for 3.5 years. It's a very lucrative business. I'm doing great, but I really just want to do something I love rather than something that's just a fun pastime. And although I do want to keep my modeling career at a somewhat full-time, you know, my hair, oh, like somewhat full-time status, I also want to really venture out to where I, you know, I'm working in the field of esports or just gaming in general. It's my passion, come on. And I also think that I do have the personality for it. I mean, I'm outgoing, I'm crazy and fun, hopefully, and hopefully not too boring, and I feel like I have the bluntness and the stick-to-itness, and I just want to learn all these skills that I don't have in order to do it. I mean, that would be my ultimate dream. I'm stating it now, to be a caster in esports. You know, particularly StarCraft, because that's my favorite, but of course I would, you know, move on just like people moved on from Brood War to, you know, Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2. So, and aside from that, I decided to take this really public approach to it and just like get it all out there and show you guys these practices, these practice videos that I'm doing with the casting and stuff like that, even though I know I'm going to be terrible, at least at first. I want to be so public about it because not only will I feel like it'll, you know, get that out there and show that I'm passionate about it and stuff, it also like gives an insight for my fans to what I'm doing right now, which I love to do. I love to not hold anything back, be an open book, and let you guys know what's going on. And on top of that, it'll, you know, help me kind of get over my fear of talking in videos, and the way I look when I talk is so ugly, oh my god, and, you know, I can't think, I'm saying all the time, you know, like stuttering around, being stupid, so hopefully that'll help with that as well. And I also got a video linked to me by a friend recently, and it was a lecture on theory about creativity dies with adulthood, because when you get to adulthood, you kind of gain that fear of like, oh, I don't want to fail, I hope I don't fail, you know, like, that would suck if I fail, so no one really puts themselves out there to be creative as kids do. But kids don't have the brain capacity to do it, so it's like, you know, kids are creative, adults are intelligent, put that together and just do what you think and do what you love, and don't worry about failing. So that's what I'm kind of doing here. I know I'm going to fail this first cast. I mean, this is going to be my first ever, like, even attempting to cast. I haven't been, like, practicing really hard and, like, trying to learn a lot. I'm just going to go out there and just try to do it and see what goes on, and then afterwards I'll do a little bit of analysis for you guys. I'll take some notes and be like, okay, this is where I think I can better myself, and this is where I think I did good, and you guys can leave comments about that too and kind of help me out and give me a little insight of your own, because of course I really do appreciate constructive criticism, even if it's not really positive. And go easy on me. I'm serious. This is like my first time trying this, and I really want to do this, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna stick to it, and I'm gonna be like, fuck it if I fail, put my all into something, and kind of just, you know, feel the fruits of my labor if I do succeed. So hopefully you guys support me. If not, you will soon support me, because you will see how awesome that it could be for me to be a caster. So let's get to it, right? Thanks for watching, I would like to say, because you guys are amazing, and I know I've been rambling for like, what, like 3,000 minutes? But thanks. Let's do it.
Alright, we're going to jump right into the replay. Alright, in the top right-hand corner is Millennium Stefano, the Foreigner Hope. And in the bottom left corner is MYM Meet Your Maker, MVP Keen, the Terran. Now, Stefano has been doing very well in the pro scene lately. He just took first place in NASL finals just recently, and this is actually a replay from DreamHack Summer in which he took round of 4. So, top 4 is pretty good. He's actually, you know, what I'm calling right now the Foreigner Hope, because he is actually going to go to GSL. I think he's doing GSTL first instead of jumping right into GSL, but I am excited to see how he will do in Korea. Sending out the Scouting Overlord. The Good Luck Have Fun has been dropped by Stefano and Keen, and it looks like he's going to be doing the wall off with the racks first. Pretty standard opening by Keen. Nothing too crazy going on right now. I cannot emphasize how impressed I am by Stefano's performance as of late. And this is a replay. I don't know if I mentioned this already. It looks like he's going for Hatch First. This is a replay from DreamHack Summer. And this is Daybreak, the map. And the Scout is going out, the SCV Scout for Keen. Both are producing pretty standard openers. Got the drones and the SCVs going on there. Let's see what kind of opening Keen is going to do after the barracks. It looks like he's building his marine. And the pool is going down, as well as the first gas immediately after. Keen is in here scouting. Not too early of a pool, and Keen does scout that he is getting his natural early, so he's not really expecting too much of, you know, quick aggression or anything like that. No cheese, no super early pushes. Keen is going for just that wall in right there. It is Zerg, so it's best to be safe. He is going double gas, which means that he is probably going to go factory next. I'm curious to see if it's for Hellions or if it is for some kind of tank or teching or maybe even some early upgrades. He is getting his natural as well a little bit later. Some Zerglings come out, possibly for scouting. Gonna kill off that SCV there. I cannot tell you guys how nervous I am right now, actually. Metabolic boost going down for Stefano. This actually is my first cast, and that's why I'm saying that. Keen is going to be killing off that neutral depot that is oh so much of a nuisance. And the factory is halfway done. It looks like he is going to go for the reactor factory switcheroo. Second orbital is in production. And Stefano is just building another queen. Droning up and just going economic. Factory is done, and he is going to switch, like I said, and going for a tech lab on the barracks. Another factory going down, and that bunker there is going to be nice protection for if Stefano does decide to come in with some Zerglings, do a little bit of harass on the drones in the second, and coming up the ramp to the main. Two more overlords, nothing too special. It looks like there are going to be some Hellions coming out. Stefano did have both of the towers for scouting, and he's allocating all of his overlords over the map, so you can have map control. Of course, it's a great thing to do. Got to keep control of the vision, see if he's getting a third. Of course, this is standard basics to StarCraft. And those Hellions are going out for a scout and possible harass on the drones. Just seeing what's going on with Stefano right now. It is a great technique for a Terran to go Hellions early on, just to kill off any drones that they can before, especially if their opponent is droning up. That means they're not going to have much to counter this kind of play. Alright, and it looks like he is not going to do very much damage with these Hellions. Stefano already has a good number of roaches out. At least 5. And it looks like Stefano is a little bit ahead in the supply. He's coming in with a couple of roaches that are going to meet these Hellions, and these Hellions are not going to be happy, as Hellions do not do very much damage against roaches. Banelings are being morphed right outside the base of MVP. MVP Keen. Excuse my language. And he's already moved his drones up, and it looks like he is getting ready for a Baneling bust in his front door. Let's see how much damage Stefano can do against MVP Keen, even though he can lift up, and Stefano does not have air attacking units at the moment. Carapace going down. He doesn't have any upgrades on these Hellions, and he doesn't have blue flame yet. I don't know what he's planning with building this many Hellions. And I find it very cute that this mule was repairing and then just dies. It's so sad. Stefano's getting his third, while Keen still does not have his third, which is not a good sign. It's not a good sign when you see a Zerg getting an economic advantage over you and you are Terran. Or pretty much any race other than Zerg. And Zerg. Creep sped doing pretty good for Stefano. And it looks like he is very oversaturated in his natural and pretty saturated in his main. He needs to start transferring those drones. Tanks are being placed, and it looks like... Whoa, why is it skipping around? Excuse me. And it looks like Keen has rebuilt his wall and his defenses. And he's going in to see if he can do any damage on these drones in the third now that he's noticed that it's up. Still no blue flame, but it is in progress. I think he should have waited a little bit longer for the blue flame to finish before he tried to go in and do any major damage. Scouting with more than 2 Hellions seems like a bit of a waste. Especially since he does seem to want to produce more Hellions since he is getting the blue flame. I don't know how well Hellions are going to do in this point in the game for MVP Keen, but we will see. I hope I haven't been confusing Keen for MVP too often here. I apologize if I have been. I'm kind of trying to focus on the actual game, and this is my very first attempt at a cast, so please don't go too hard on me. More Hellions rallying out to Zelnaga Watchtower. And these lanes are just scouting for the third to see if Keen has grabbed it yet. And they're going to get attacked by tanks, and now he knows what kind of defenses he does have at the main. These Hellions are probably going to try do a little more harass on the drones. Oh, and that poor drone gets the first taste of blue flame. And it looks... Oh, God, it's skipping around, sorry. And it looks like Keen is going to get right up into the main base with these Hellions, and let's see what he can do. Alright. Killing off workers left and right. 7 workers killed for Keen. 8. It was decent, but for how many Hellions he has lost in this game, and how little damage he has done, I don't really see this as a good investment here. I do have a bad feeling for Keen, and I am rooting for him, even though I am, you know, liking Stefano's play lately. I am a Terran, and of course, I'm going to root for the Terran. These Hellions just patrolling around. This queen just walking around, doing her job, spreading that creep. And it looks like Keen is finally going to get his third up and running, but it's pretty late. Did he notice that Stefano is going for his fire? Is that why he's going for this? Or is it just for detection? Possibly he thinks that the roaches can burrow. And the roaches are +1 carapace, +2 is coming up. Hellions still have no upgrades. Looks like his bio units are 1-1. These Hellions are going to get denied. They're just running around the map seeing what kind of things are going on with Stefano. Stefano does know that Keen has got his third. And it looks like he is coming in with a few roaches, just to poke. Stefano has dropped his 4th. Let's see how long he can keep it. And it looks like he has a sizable army, sizable chunk of his army down here in his 5th, where he is building, double expanding. So it looks like Keen is either building a defensive command center, or he is about to get his 4th as well. Very saturated bases here. Well, not so much this base, but his natural. And his 1st is getting mined out, so it didn't need to be as saturated. These blue flame Hellions can do a little bit of damage to these roaches now, but he is just upgraded. Air is not upgraded for Keen either, which makes sense since he only got a couple medevacs. He's going for 2-2, whereas Stefano is going for 3-3, which is not good for Keen. And it looks like Keen is going to retake this tower, or just push forward. Kind of pushing Stefano back from his vision vantage point. Stefano just has a massive income compared to Keen, and is a little bit higher in supply, but it looks as though... Nope, yeah, Stefano's supply is more expensive as well. Keen is going out to finally kill some creep and poke in, but it looks like he's going to get just demolished by this fungal and banelings. And he's returning home. His command center is finished. Is he going to move it out? He's got a Thor. It looks like Stefano is teching... Oh, yep, he's teching up to Broodlords. I don't know how I missed that. But this is looking grim for Keen. Moving out to his 4th. He will not be able to keep this for very long. That's my prediction, guys. And here comes the very intimidating, terrifying army of Stefano, morphing a few more banelings and just getting ready with this very diverse range of units. Seems as though Keen was late to teching up, and is there going to be a huge interaction in the middle of the map? Wait for it, wait for it. Samson tries to kill these Broodlords, but the fungals and everything is just too much for Keen. Will Keen be able to hold this out? Is not looking too good for Keen. He does have a sizable army of Vikings, and he does take care of those Broodlords. Wow, I am impressed with Keen in this interaction. It's a pretty even outcome there. And Keen's doing a good job microing away from those banelings. Moving out to try to protect his 4th. Stefano does have all 5 bases up and running, and has for some time though, and I don't know how that is going to look. I mean, Stefano's income, he can just stream in reinforcements constantly from now on because of how well he has used his economy to his advantage. Keen does pick up that Thor, which looks so cute when he's picked up, to drop him on the high ground and try to get the advantage, kind of wall off his bases. But the Zerg army is going over here to his 3rd, and probably will take that out right now with his massling. Look at the workers killed, 34 and counting workers killed by Stefano in this attack. Very nice. And here he comes. Even though these Vikings are trying to pick this off, it looks like there are some corruptors in production that are just going to take out these few and hurt Vikings. And as they come back to the 3rd base, the wreckage is apparent. He still can fly off, lift off, and all other synonyms. Stefano is 3-3. Broodling strikes up. He simply just does not have the army. Even with the placement of tanks and the Vikings, he does not have the army to counter this. My advice for Terrans is to not let Zerg expand as much as he did, and definitely don't let them tech up to Broodlords and Corruptors. Especially if you are not teching up also to Battle Position Thors and other Tier 3 units. And the GG was placed by Keen. Good job, Stefano. Woo! I would like to note that, as I've said, this is my very first attempt at casting, so I hope I wasn't too awful. But, there you go. I think Stefano did do a very good job, but Keen just didn't go in there and deny any expansions. I really liked his play with Hellions, but I feel like he transitioned out of that too late, and just waited for blue flame too late. And I feel like he would have got blue flame earlier. He would have been able to kill more drones, and if he transitioned out sooner, he would have been able to tech up and just get a more sizable army that would have been able to combat Stefano's 3-3 huge chunk of Army of Doom. So that's that for my first ever cast. I hope it wasn't too painful to listen to, and thank you so much. Bye guys!
Alright, let's talk about my awful cast that I just did right there. So I watched it a couple times now, and I have some sticky notes. It looks like it's a blank sticky note, but I will prove it to you. I've written on it. Come on. Focus. Wow, that is some cool visionary craziness right there. Alright. I promise you it's written on. So, I also have one stuck to my desk. Notes that I've taken, because like I said, I write and I think better than I speak. And it's so funny because when I would watch GSL or something, I would sometimes watch it muted, and I would kind of have this monologue going in my head of what I would say as a caster right now at the moment when I'm watching, even though it's kind of hard because I can't move around the camera and actually, you know, do that myself to see what's actually going on. But I feel like I do a good job in my head, and then when I, you know, try to do it out loud, it's much, much, much harder. And I don't know if everyone else has this problem as well, but I feel like this is the main problem why I don't speak too much. So, start with the bad stuff, and I have 2 good praise things that I wrote down, and that's it. Okay, so number 1 is I have to pause and think too long for the terminology, and that's true. I'm like looking at like roaches, and I'm like, Stefano is producing roaches, and it's like, it's not fluid, you know? So that's one thing. I did mention DreamHack twice. I feel like I'm getting too focused on trying to follow the game, and not quite, you know, registering what I'm saying. So I'm not quite sure where I am, and sometimes that can be distracting. And I think it just comes with time, maybe? I don't know. I'm sure I'm starting off way more awful than anyone else, you know, at casting, but definitely I'm sure it will come with practice, so I'm not too worried about that. I say standard too much. I know that casters do this often. They say, oh, a standard opening and stuff like that, but I really feel like that's kind of a boring word, and it kind of makes me sound like I'm bored and not necessarily really interested in the game, and I kind of want to be like more like husky and like hype up the crowd, but I also want to have the, you know, insight like all the better casters. Let's see. I say you know in filler words. Like, you know, taking pauses, saying like, I'm sure I did. I don't feel like I'm confident enough. When I was watching, I didn't feel like I was confident enough in my analysis. I felt like I was kind of hesitant to say things, like kind of thinking things twice, making sure, like, am I saying the unit's name correctly, which is like ridiculous, you know. I just need to do it. Just do it. Okay. Like, I wrote waiting and I'm like, what the hell is that? But I remember now. I would be like, and it looks like he's gonna do, and like waiting for him to do something, instead of rather. Just kind of putting filler talk in there and then talking when I actually see something happen. I shouldn't be like, and he did something! You know, that's kind of redundant. Okay, I sometimes said scouting when I meant division. It's not a big one, but, you know. I'm like, he's getting those towers for scouting. I didn't use enough jargon. I mean, it's not diverse, like the things that I said. I really should have used more words, but I'm sure my vocabulary for casting will grow as I do this. So, more adjectives, that's another one. I have been speaking the English language my whole life, so I should know enough adjectives. I should be using more instead of using the same. And when things get intense, this is a big one, I suck. Like, when Stefano was coming in the middle of the map, and he had the Broodlords, he had the Banelings, he had the Zerglings surround, and I could only focus on one thing and just kind of let you guys watch, and just talked about how, you know, Stefano overpowered him, and that's it. I couldn't really be quick and, you know, interesting and loud, you know, like a caster. Like a caster should be. A caster should if you're not watching, his, like, you know, emotion at that moment should make you excited and make you want to see what's going on. And I don't feel like I did a good job with that. And it's hard to look at numbers on the, you know, interface and actually compute them and describe them to you guys. That was hard. I was like, is his army more valuable? Is it? Yeah, it is. Oh, no. Yeah, it is. Woo! You know, like that. And I used a couple jokes when I failed, and that's good. It's always good to keep a light attitude about things, and when you know, mess up, you should really acknowledge it and just kind of make fun of yourself. Always make fun of yourself. That's a life rule, not a casting rule. And my last good thing, there's only 2 good things, so the jokes and the fact that I didn't one take. I didn't, like, go in there and just, like, totally blank. I thought I would totally blank, so I am happy that I didn't, and I'm proud of myself in that respect. So, yeah, I hope it wasn't too awful, and I hope I haven't been talking about this too long, but that's kind of my analysis on that Stefano Keen thing from DreamHack, and then my analysis on my analysis. So hopefully next time I will have improved, and I'll keep working at it, and please let me know what you guys think, and, you know, follow me on Twitter, follow me on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Definitely come over and watch my stream, because while I'm also trying to league up and rank up and all that in my own StarCraft play, I'll also be trying to learn, because obviously when I'm scouting them, I'm learning things like, okay, if he has his gas that early, there's no way he's going to be doing this and that, you know, stuff like that comes with practice at play, and it comes with practice at casting, and I'm hoping I will be decent soon. My goal, at least, is to be one of the better female ones, kind of get some jobs, you know, work off of it, because I really feel like it would be pretty cool to have that kind of job. Even if it was just once in a while, just to have done it once, like, cast at, like, a big event, would be just amazing. So, stay tuned. I will be doing these periodically to update on my progress, and I'll post them as blogs on Team Liquid, stuff like that. So, yay! I love you guys. Have a wonderful night.